In this video, we'll talk about two things that we'll use widely in the course. The first is an application that comes with Windows called the Snipping Tool. It's just one of many applications that you can use to take pictures, screenshots, and you will need to do this quite a bit for your homework. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And secondly, the notion of editing, creating text files, which we'll use extensively with Python. So recall from the previous video, we had the text file hello.py that has two Python instructions, and if we want to execute this with the Python program, we just do Python hello.py and tell Python that's the file, and so Python goes in and execute that. So in this video, what we'll talk about after we talk about the snipping tool is how to create and edit these files such as hello.py. First, though, we'll talk just a little bit about the snipping tool. And this is the snipping tool. You can either hit the Windows key and type snipping tool, or you can go through the menu and find the snipping tool in the Windows accessories folder. What the snipping tool allows you to do is take screenshots, and there are several different ways to do that, and as you'll see quickly enough, we're going to have to do this a lot for our homework problems, so I thought I'd just spend a couple of minutes talking about how to do that. Before I do this, let me say there are a variety of other tools that you can use. The snipping tool is just free and easy and comes with Windows, and so that's the one I use, but there are many other ways to do the same thing. So in the snipping tool, the most common thing that I'm going to do is create a new snip. And I can do that with these four options. One is full screen, the next is window. The one I use more often than any other one is called a rectangular snip, and the final one is freeform. It's just freeform, not necessarily rectangular. So for example, with a rectangular snip, I can just select any part of the screen, a rectangular portion, and the snipping tool will create a file or create an image from that portion of the screen. Once I have the image in the snipping tool, there are two basic things I can do with it. I can save it as a file, so if for whatever reason I wanted to save this file, I could go and save the file. So let's do that. Let's go to the directory where we're storing our code. So we just go to my H drive. Again, one of the things you're going to have to get used to doing if you're not already used to it is navigating around the file system. And I'll just save that as capture.png. And so when I then go to my command prompt and just do a dir png, there's the capture.png that we just created. And I can use that in PowerPoint or Word or so on as a file. In many of the homeworks, you'll have to give me the file, so you'll have to include this in the homework. Another option once I have the image created is I can use the copy option, which is the icon right here, and I can just copy it, and that copies it to the Windows clipboard. And so for example, once I do that, I can go in Word, for example, and then say I want to paste that back in, and it will then paste the image into the Word file. And so as you'll see, for much of the homework in our class, you will be doing things like executing a Python program, like we did before, like our hello.py right here. Then you are going to submit that as an image or a screenshot. And so I could do that by simply opening the command prompt and executing it, then saying I want to create a new snip, and then copy that to the clipboard, and then paste it into the Word document that you are going to submit to me. So it's a fairly easy process to create screenshots and Windows components using the snipping tool. As you might expect, the other options are very similar. If I want to do a window snip, I can just choose the window and it will take the entire window. So in this case, I just took a screenshot of the Word document. And so if I then copy that to the clipboard, I could then paste it into the Word document that we're working on. So there we go, and I paste it in, and I get the entire window. If I do the full screen snip, it's going to get obviously the full screen, and as I said before, the freeform snip lets you do non-rectangular sections. There are several other things I can do with the snipping tool. I can annotate images and so on, but far and away what we'll use it in this class more than anything else is for just creating these screenshots so that you can turn it in as your homework. In the first video of the course, we talked about files, and in particular, two different classes of files, text versus binary files. And we talked about what these were, and that for Python, we'll be primarily interested in these text files. And so in the rest of this video, what we'll do is talk about how to create and edit those text files, what the options are for doing that. One note here is when you look at these special files like the Word file and the Excel file, these are typically only used within the single application. So if I have a Word file, I use Word to edit it, I use Word to process it and print it and so on. With Excel, if I have an Excel file, well then I use Excel to do whatever analysis I want to do. Text files are a little bit more flexible in that we can use a text file in a variety of applications. In particular, I can open that text file in Word, I can open the text file in Excel, and so on. And so rather than using a single program like Word or Excel, with the text file we can use them in multiple programs. And so what we're going to do is look at the options for using what's called a text editor to create and edit text files. There are many options for text editors that are available. Some are paid, some are free. I've listed some here that I use. First of all, Notepad is the default Windows editor, and so I can get to Notepad, just type Notepad, type Notepad, and it pulls up the Windows Notepad. I can also select it from the Windows accessories menu that we saw before. With Notepad, it's a very simple text editor application. I just simply open the file, and you can see that it defaults to the directory I started it in, and it's limited though to by default to a particular file type, the text file. So again, it's the default Windows application for handling text files. But if I go down to the dialog box here and say I don't only want to see text files, I want to see all files, the dialog box is going to show me all of the files in the current directory, even those files that aren't text files. Like for example, we know the XLSX files are binary files, but we asked to see all the files. The Python files are what we're particularly interested in here. So I can select the file that we saw before, hello.py, open the text file, and then I have the file open. I can then edit the file. If I want to add another line, say another print line here, print today is the first day of class, for example. Put that in, then I can save the file, and when I execute Python hello, we can see that it now added that third line of code, third line of instructions. So the Windows Notepad is probably the most common text editor that people use. Another option that comes freely available with Windows is Wordpad. Wordpad is a little bit more advanced than Notepad, and that should be freely available on any Windows computer. And finally, two editors that I tend to use. First of all, Ultraedit is the one that I'll use most often in this class, and here's what Ultraedit looks like. You can see it's an integrated development environment, or an IDE if you're familiar with that term, and we have Explorer. We can explore the file system over on the left window, and then we can see the directory, and so it makes for a nice environment to work with. It also offers color syntax highlighting, and so you can see in this case the print statements are in blue, and so that tells me these are reserved words in the Python language. And so as we build more, get more into the programming aspects, you'll see the advantages of having this type of syntax highlighting and how that simplifies development. The final option I'll discuss is VI, or Vi, which is pretty much an old school editor. It's been around for many years, and VI is freely available on virtually any computing platform. So if you go to vim.org, for example, you can download the VIM editor, and what I have shown here is the graphical, or GVim editor, that as you see also has syntax highlighting. It's a very flexible editor. As I said, it's available on all on virtually all computing platforms. But it is old school, and so it takes a little bit of getting used to with using it. But on the other hand, it's free, so anybody can have it. And I would certainly recommend spending a little while with VI over, say, using Notepad. Notepad is available, but it doesn't offer many features. It doesn't have syntax highlighting and so on, and so it'll work, but one of the other options will be significantly better. I also didn't mention Ultraedit has two options. One is an ad-supported version, so you can download and install on your computer, and you see ads if you don't pay, or you can pay a fairly nominal fee and have a completely open version. And so for the rest of the semester, we're going to be creating and editing text files, and so you want to definitely make sure that you are comfortable using one or more of these editors, and that you're able to, again, use the editor to navigate the file system and find files and create files and so on.